Valley Race Series. It's actually my first time at Snow Valley. Rocking the enduro again. Morning.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Ready for your race?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
Nice.
it's been a couple months since I've raced, but
Okay, how are you doing it?
yeah.
What time is drop-in?
I think the racing starts at 12:30.
12:30, okay, nice.
Yeah. Ooh, a little brisk. It's a massive ski lift. Massive as in has the spots for 4 bikes, which is nice. Well, it's my first time at Snow Valley. I don't know why I've never come out here. I haven't really been that into bike parks in general. But I think Snow Valley always has more of the intermediate trails, so I never was drawn to it. I've never raced the Southwest Downhill Series here, so it's my first time out here. We'll see how it goes. Rocking the enduro again. Still don't have a downhill bike, still looking around. But these trails might suit the enduro a little bit more. We'll see how it goes. Looks like you can see some snow out in the distance. There's like tiny little patches of snow on the ground here. Considering it rained about 3 or 4 days ago, pretty good. See Big Bear Lake out there. Very beautiful this time of year. Thank you. The Valley Race Series is a very different format than a typical downhill race. Instead of having multiple days of practice and seeding runs and race runs, Valley Race Series made it all one day where you had practice in the morning and then race in the evening. I thought that would be pretty cool, kind of similar to an enduro race in a way where you just go in one day, not a full commitment, but also made for more of a rapid way of getting used to the trail. Didn't really have any track walks, so you went in blind and gave it a shot. Originally for the first race they had a blue trail as the first section, which is something that I was kind of slightly hoping for with an enduro bike. I thought I could make up some time on that, but last minute they changed it to be more aggressive, I think probably from rider feedback. So the bike felt pretty good, but still a little bit underbiked, especially on some of the bigger drops. Now for my first practice run, kind of went in trying to feel it out. And I left this section in. Usually you don't really want to highlight kind of little mess ups and signs of fear, but that was worthwhile to share. Kind of going in, if you're kind of going in blind, you see people standing around, not sure what's on the other side. Kind of came up to this section, saw it, didn't really know what the line was, rolled up to it again, didn't really feel right, so I just chickened out, went around, felt I'll try it again next time. In the end I'm going to have to get it right eventually, but didn't have to do it on the first run. Trying to show some caution, not just throwing it all the way in the first warm-up. The motorway section that followed the drop and section through a little bit of woods felt like it should be full on, all out, push as hard as you can. But the way they taped it, kind of pushing me all the way to the left side of the tape, made it really hard to hold my line, especially on the bike. I felt like being rattled to pieces because it wasn't really a smooth section at all. So it was a section I feel like if I was on a downhill bike, I could just let it go and let it fly right through. But on the enduro, I felt like I had to be a little bit more tentative on it. This little bit of trail was basically the only really spot where you really had line choice. You had multiple lines going through here. Which one was the fastest? I think it was pretty obvious once you start looking at it, but there was definitely more risk, especially when coming into this section. It's not very clear where the line is. There's a bunch of boulders. Almost always there's a bunch of people standing around. It was really hard to pinpoint which rock to kind of hit to turn off to make that inside line, making the other lines very tempting. As you watch other people go through, you think, oh, they're carrying a lot more speed, taking the middle line or the outside line. But the extra distance you had to cover really it wasn't really race worthy. Yes, you had less risk, but I think if you're really going for the win or trying to do well, you really had to find a way to commit to the inside line.
I'm just gonna try that. Because you like land in a hole right here, and then you lose all your speed.
High risk, high reward. But
Yeah, like seeing that one bike, the red bike, fly in on the outside, it looked really fast. But then when you started looking at what the other people were doing, a lot of the fast guys, when they would go in on the inside line, there was no guessing which line was the fastest one.
how about I'll ride your wheel, I'll do the rock, you go around and see which one. You know the pace.
That is the way, yeah.
I think that might be soon. My daughter had that. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, no, that's,
if you come up short, like you land on that knuckle or overshoot it.
it depends where people are landing. Cause I don't think people are landing on the. It's just it seems scary coming in, but once you're up top, it's like pretty clear. Yeah.
I don't know. They look pretty tight. If that was his fastest, I mean, clearly those men that just came through, you know, they're blazing.
Yeah.
That's the way to go if you're at that level for sure.
Yeah, if you go too far inboard, you can land on the edge of the rock and bust a wheel potentially. If you go too far in.
Too far on the side of the stone.
Yeah, like that guy landed partially on the rock.
Once you had a couple of the fast guys come through, such as like Connor Bodie and Jack Harley, right there you just see the speed like carrying through it and just plowing right through and holding the line and showing how it's supposed to be done, even when you have another person going by pretty quick on the outside.
Yeah, the landing spot here is basically like a soft, fluffy ditch. So every time everybody lands in it, it kind of absorbs your impact. You know, the big boys here too.
Yeah, there's a lot of really quick people here actually. I think the 5 grand's attracting some
The
people.
last race, it didn't seem like that many people knew about it.
Yeah, not many. The counter was definitely a lot more stacked this time around. You want to catch a lap Pete this time?
Yeah, I'd love to follow you if possible.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Probably gonna take a short little break after this lap because this is like my 4th lap
Okay.
and it's only like 10. So
Yeah.
we should have another couple hours. Probably go grab some water and take this lap to look at some lines and stuff. All right, you ready?
Yep.
straight? I feel like Cody was scoping it. He was like looking over there. He was like standing over there. I'm like, oh. Are people getting all cheeky because there's like money now? Might be. What is the fuck? Should we ask the race organizers and see like, yeah, what's allowed? Right, like, are we actually allowed to leave the trail, or can we like put everything on? That way about the kids. Going straight. Could you imagine if you went up the corner under that? You just. Oh. Well, let's just take a quick look.
It's just within the tape, right?
Well, that's the question.
It's supposed. I mean,
Look at the wall. It would be pretty legit. I think more than going all the way to their track, I feel like I'd just come up here. No, that corner would be tough. You think so? I guess it could be. I think honestly, I agree. There's the spirit of racing, and then it's like, what are other people doing? Yeah. And I'll be pissed if I saw it and then someone else does it, and then they actually get
There's
like.
a nice break right now. I say let's go.
Okay. Nah.
you're probably not racing if you're not like looking for that.
Scoping. I'm kind of I'm on the mindset a little bit about like taking the just the trail.
Yeah, I usually am too.
But
Once you see lines that other people are taking, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, though. I get it. Probably gonna cruise down this. I think there's some time to be made up down here though, with some like cheeky lines.
Yeah.
I think so. Like still staying to the track, but just like.
Nice. Well, again, I wasn't able to hit it.
And the wheel went that way as I went off it. You're all good, Joe.
Right out of the gate, I started out pretty strong. I knew that on the pedals is where I needed to make up the most time, so that's where I pushed as much as I could. Upper part of the track was pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. Kind of avoided the jumps because it just lost you time. Right here, when you cross the ski slope, I kind of went offline and banged the rocks, slowed me down a bit. Right here was the only spot I could really make up time and pedal. Even then, I still felt like it was hard to push through here. It looked flat, but it was a bit uphill. Yeah, there's a couple little drops through here, kind of pushes you a little bit offline. And in these corners, I definitely bogged down a little bit too much. Kind of overbraked and stalled a bit. Yeah, coming into a drop, saw somebody was walking off, wasn't sure what happened. I think that was actually the guy in front of me. He was very tentative and unsure how he'd do. I think he crashed out. All this went out pretty clean into the motorway. Yeah, this whole section, like I said before, kind of routed you to pieces a bit. Looks fast on the camera, which is kind of nice. Yeah, there's some spectators in the corners, kind of fun type people cheering a little bit. Didn't go for the cheater line. I'm not sure if anybody did, but I kind of kept to the regular trail and did my best there. This pedal section, somewhat boring, nothing really special about it. It was steep enough where you picked up a good amount of speed. Trying to pedal didn't really gain you too much, just kind of tucked and rolled through here. Didn't really do anything special throughout these sections of kind of sweeping turns. Felt like I probably should have gone a little bit faster than I did. Just stuck with the speed that felt comfortable. Managed to hit the rock drop, but stalled out, but managed to hold on. I was being pushed out to the edge of the trail. That definitely lost me a couple seconds. But at least I was able to hit the rock drop and hold on. And that's the race run. Ended up finishing 5th out of 23 for the 35 and up class. A couple seconds off the podium. Several people on the same second as me, so I got pretty lucky there.
Oh. Stalled up in a couple spots. Definitely didn't hit the drop well. At least I put the rubber side down.
Third place, come on down, down to the silver third place. 2 minutes, 59 seconds. In second place, Nate Kitchen, come on down, 258. And just barely, but first place we have Nicholas Nesterov. Come on down, $5,000 Richard today.
Trail One is my biggest supporter, and it makes some very well thought out components, each of which gives back to the trails that we ride. Check them out and use the code supportthetrails-pete for a discount at checkout.